Broadcasting live. It's America's longest running talk show on computers. It's Computer America, bringing you the biggest names in technology with guest interviews, new products, and your emails. Listen live at computeramerica.com on any device around the world. Email the show at live@computeramerica.com or find us on social media. Be sure to check out our website for contests, giveaways, show notes, live video stream, podcasts, and more. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome everyone into the Computer America Show. We are the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers and technology. And everyone, welcome into the program. I hope that you are ready for the show today because if, like me, this week has been a little bit crazy in the news and you just need something else to put on. Hey, I think the show that Ralph has planned for you today is going to do exactly that. And it's going to be good. We're going to hear about wireless roads. We're going to hear about dissolving plastics, but like the good kind of dissolving plastics. We're going to hear about new technology. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a great show. So with that being said, computeramerica.com. That's where you'll find everything, including past shows, future shows, show notes, articles, contests, giveaways, all that and more. Computer America, one-stop shop. Right there at the top, we have a whole section dedicated to Ralph's programs. And these, you can find the show notes. The show notes, if you watch the video, you can kind of see as we kind of go along. But if you are driving, if you are busy, well, come out to computeramerica.com, get the show notes, and you can see the links right there. You can find out more because Ralph's going to give you a great Reader's Digest version of this, but there's always more to find out. So with that being said, let's go ahead, bring Ralph on, and, just have a nice, relaxing introduction into the weekend. So everyone, welcome back onto the program, Mr. Ralph Bond. Ralph, how you been?
I'm doing okay. And boy, I'll tell you, you're right. Crazy news week again. And we've got something that'll turn the corner on your emotions, maybe, and give you some uplifting reasons to go on living. So let me explain, especially for anyone who's brand new to the show. Welcome, of course. And let me set the stage by explaining, as we do at the beginning of every show, what Ben and I do every Friday. Well, what we do is we highlight 4 articles that show us key trends and developments in all things science and tech, including artificial intelligence, of course, robotics, medical technology, sustainable energy technology, transportation advances, agricultural technology, construction technology, space research, physics, on and on and on. But most important of all, here's the key. This is what Ben was alluding to. The key to our show on Fridays is we're going to give you hope for a better future thanks to amazing breakthroughs happening every single day in the world of science and technology.
Absolutely. And you can see them there. You picked 4 amazing stories, was able to get through them, kind of before the show. And yeah, you have a good eye for this, Ralph. And I think we'll go ahead and just start with story number 1. And this is something that, when it comes to like environmental disasters and catastrophes, there's the melting polar bears that are just melting away. These bears are like chocolate bunnies just in the oven. It is what it is. It's like that. And it's, the ocean and seeing all the plastic in the sea turtle and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. Ralph, there's few environmental impacts that are as emotional as like plastic in the ocean and the heating of the Arctic. Well, one of those, we can kind of start to, hopefully maybe get a product that will, be a bit more environmentally friendly because, Ralph, we don't seem to be moving away from plastic, but maybe we can move towards a better plastic. And that's my intro to story number 1.
Yes, absolutely. And first story today comes from phys.org, short for physics.org. Friends, an amazing website, a constant source of great information. But the headline here for this story is, the perfect polymer, plant-based plastic, is fully saltwater degradable and leaves behind 0 microplastics. Wow. Okay. I mean, this is significant. Researchers at Japan's Riken Center for Emergent Matter Science. That sounds like a pretty serious place, right? Center for Emergent Matter Science. Wow. Well, they've developed a plant-based plastic that fully degrades in salt water within 2 hours, leaving behind 0 microplastics. Okay. Made from cellulose and FDA approved additives, the material is strong, flexible, and practical for real world use, making a major step toward reducing ocean plastic pollution. If this doesn't make you happy, I give up. This is great stuff. And now I'm
Definitely.
going to try. Yeah.
And just real quick, and for those who are watching the video portion, we have a little, the YouTube
Yeah.
video that's included in the article there. You can see it. I would say it's definitely sped up. I mean, that's obviously
Yes,
a
of
little
course.
sped up. Either that or there's some kind of chemical reaction that just makes the plastic go crazy. But yeah, you can see the video there of the
When
plastic
it
going as
dissolves.
we do the article.
Yeah, yeah, it's that video is really very good. The plastic is derived from carboxymethyl cellulose and biodegradable wood pulp derivative, which is a biodegradable wood pulp derivative, and combined with positively charged guanidinium ions to form a strong cross-link network. Do I understand what I just read? No, but it's this for the geeks, the serious geeks. That gives you the explanation of the ingredients for this. And there's a side note about this in more detail if you want to come out to the show notes at computeramerica.com and get the links, information, additional tutorial stuff I insert in there, because believe me, when I read some of these articles, I'm going, what? And I need to have the extra information. So we provide that in the show notes. But going on, in salt water, the bonds break down quickly, allowing the plastic to fully degrade without producing microplastics, as we've mentioned a couple of times already. Now, here's something interesting, Ben. Initially, this material is brittle. The material's properties were the material's properties were fine-tuned using choline chloride, an FDA-approved food additive. Although I suppose if RFK Jr. gets his way, we won't have that anymore. But anyway, this allows the plastic to range from glass-like hardness to elastic stretchability up to 130% of its length. So this is fascinating. This stuff, this dissolvable plastic, can range from glass-like hardness. You can make a picture frame out of it or something like that, all the way up to super stretchability. That's something that just blows my mind.
It does seem that they really put a focus on not like a new groundbreaking chemical that could maybe do this stuff, but instead they went to the, like you said, the current FDA approved additives and said, okay, how do we make this work with what is already approved? And that is a huge step, Ralph. I don't think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this is a brand new plastic with a brand new chemical. We put it all over your food. Congratulations. Most people would be a little bit like, well, the chances of adoption are much lower, but now that they use FDA approved, additives, it's probably much higher that this could, come to market.
Yeah, exactly. And you raised a really good point. Come to think of it, when you think, how did they come up with this idea to use an FDA approved food additive? I'll bet what they did is asked an AI large language model scenario. They probably said, we want to do this, and have this output in this kind of plastic and these kind of performances, but do it using off the shelf materials. Maybe that's what they did. And the AI did its job and came back with this formula. Maybe that's what happened. I'm just speculating. But going on here, the plastic can be made into clear films as thin as 0.07 millimeters, suitable for packaging and other applications. And unlike earlier prototypes the team worked with, this version uses common, inexpensive, as we said before, FDA-approved ingredients, making it viable for large-scale production. A key point, a lot of the research we do, or research we report on, uses things that might be very difficult to become practical and large-scale production and affordable. Not the case here. This is another reason this is so exciting. And to wrap it up, the cellulose being the most abundant organic compound on Earth, produced at about 1 trillion tons annually, this innovation could significantly reduce plastic pollution in oceans. Ta-da!
Yeah, no, it's really good research that they're doing there, and and it makes more, I guess, a lot of sense that Japan would be the one to kind of lead this. Being surrounded by an ocean and still using plastic for a lot of their food packaging and whatnot, just like everywhere else in the world. Ralph, if this could make it to developing countries, if this could make it to America and places, you may not think that your plastics make it to the ocean, but I think a surprising people would be surprised by the amount of plastic that makes it into the ocean, and this would be just something that would be a step in the right direction. Like
Absolutely.
it a lot. So, it's just cellulose. So story number 1, cool video as well, and you can see the research paper there. Ralph has a link to it. Story number 2. Let's go ahead and jump on over to a story with a little bit of an update if you were paying attention last year, but one that we are seeing a steady drumbeat of, it's possible. Is it viable? We're kind of on to that second step. So yeah, Ralph, story number 2.
Yeah. This comes from Purdue University. And the headline here is First Highway Segment in the United States wirelessly charges electric heavy-duty truck while it's driving. Wow, this is so cool. And as Ben was suggesting, this is a pickup, a continuation of some news we started back in November on the November 14 show. Late last year, of course, we covered news about the world's first dynamic induction charging system implemented on a short segment of highway with real traffic that's now live in France, an experiment, right? And this news is now we have a U.S. experiment in the same category. Just a great development, so interesting. So Purdue University and the Indiana Department of Transportation have successfully demonstrated the first U.S. highway segment that can wirelessly charge an electric heavy-duty truck while driving at highway speeds. Okay. This quarter-mile test stretch in West Lafayette, Indiana, showcases a breakthrough in inductive charging technology that could reduce battery costs and enable electrified highways for both freight and passenger vehicles, perhaps someday in the future. Pretty cool stuff. And a real quick reminder, inductive charging means charging a device without plugging it in, by using a magnetic field to move energy from a charging pad into the device. And if you've ever set a phone on a wireless charging pad and it starts charging, well, that's inductive charging. Pretty neat stuff.
I was kind of curious, like, and this is, in our car, we have like a little spot, you set a phone and it does this wireless charging. And I was like, I wonder if like just the phone being in your pocket or, resting somewhere in the car, would the road charge your phone in your pocket as you were driving over this? Probably not. You probably have to be a little bit closer to it. And, I'm sure the truck is set up with special charging equipment, but still it's, I'm sure it's still safe. Just a little bit of electrical current. No one was ever harmed by electricity. But no,
right.
the fact that this can, the implications of it, and I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit about it, but the implications of it are really staggering when you think about what it comes to shipping things across this country and what this could mean.
Absolutely. Totally on target there. And that's, again, a pickup from our November 14 discussion about the experiment in France. And this just shows you a trend. That's one of the things we look at, folks, a trend for looking at embedding this technology in roadways to help solve a problem of range anxiety when it comes to EV vehicles, right? Mm-hmm. So going on with the story, a heavy-duty electric truck equipped with receiver coils was charged wirelessly while moving at highway speeds on a specially designed quarter-mile stretch of U.S. Highway 52, and then it has a /231. So Highway 52/231. And the system uses patent-pending inductive charging technology embedded beneath concrete pavement, transmitting power through coils to the truck's underside. Now, the potential impact, to wrap this up, is pretty obvious. It could reduce the need for massive and expensive batteries in long-haul trucks, may lower infrastructure costs compared to building charging stations, and opens the door for scalable electrified highways that benefit passenger EVs as well.
Yeah, no, just any way that you can, despite the recent news, and this week has been really crazy. I really want to emphasize to that, people. Ralph, like, there is oil and gas are great, but electricity is the only thing that kind of makes sense going forward. And that's why we're seeing major investment in even oil and gas companies are putting into battery technology, charging technology, things like this. this technology has the potential to, Ralph, I think last time we talked about this in November, where like there's plenty of manufacturing plants where you have plant A and making parts and plant B using parts. Even just like a simple 50-mile stretch of highway that is electrified, you suddenly reduce the need for gas to get things from that 50 miles. It doesn't sound like a lot, but at the same time, it would save so much in cost and burning of gas just to do that. Ralph, it doesn't have to be like the entire highway system to make a big impact. And I think that's what I want to leave people with is like, yeah, we're not going to tear up the entire country's highways to do this.
Well, right.
But sections of it, it makes so much sense.
Yeah, you raise a very interesting point because it could be done in sections, as you were saying. I still think the fact that you're asking very busy highways and roads to stop and divert traffic somehow and then dig it up and put this technology in, cover it over again with concrete or whatever, that's a pretty big ask. But I've thought to myself, well, wait a minute. What if, the median zone in between the highway lanes in both directions, could this energy transmission be installed in fencing or small like pylons or something and transmit it horizontally instead of vertically from the ground up? Can you do that? And that way would reduce the incredible infrastructure challenge of burying this stuff in pavement. And back on the 14th of November, when we first talked about the French experiment, we said, maybe in the end of the day, this might be great for airports where all the little vehicles could be
That's
EV,
right.
the baggage cars and stuff. And you're just asking to embed this technology into a very contained environment or a warehouse or whatever the case may be. So we'll just see where this goes. But it's an interesting trend. Now we saw it in France first. We're seeing it now in the United States. So let's see where this technology goes.
And I want to say there was a test and this is a while ago, it was either in the UK or somewhere in like Sweden or something like that, that had they had cables, Ralph, over the highway. It was like power lines over the top, almost like the old like tram system in like San Francisco and whatnot. But they were able to charge the trucks using overhead wires.
There you go.
That one would be obviously a lot less disruptive, but also it comes with its own challenges. A lot of different technologies, but you can tell, Ralph, as far as trends go, it's something that will be coming. It's kind of an inevitability. Cars will use electricity, and electricity will be fed to them while they drive. So there you go.
Yep. It's a pretty interesting trend to watch.
For sure. So story number 2, story number 3. Let's go ahead and, when it comes to, like we were just talking about, instead of plowing up the entire highway system and doing this, that, and the other, the cost of integrating the technology sometimes is one of the biggest hurdles. And story number 3, a little bit different because this one, not a lot of cost of integration. Hopefully this just, it just kind of works. You slap it on and it works. So Ralph, let's talk about some electronic circuits for clothing.
Yes. Wearable technology, getting gizmos and gadgets into your clothing is a very big trend. Worldwide, so much research. This is very exciting. This news comes from an American Chemical Society press release. So a pretty geeky source, but very, very cool. Headline: an iron-on electronic circuit to create wearable tech. So this is fun. You're going to enjoy this one. Researchers at Virginia Tech have developed a new iron-on electric circuit patch made from liquid metal and heat-activated adhesive. This innovation allows wearable electronics to be easily bonded into fabrics using a household iron, enabling flexible, durable, and stretchable smart clothing applications. Oh my gosh, the couple of sentences, we just two sentences into this story, Ben, and it's just like...
It's very, very high tech, but at the same time, I think it's pretty, low tech when it comes to usability. So that's good.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So the patch combines microscopic droplets of gallium. Okay, let me try this in gallium indium.
Gallium indium. Yep.
Thank you. Alloy with polyurethane, forming a soft, conductive, elastic sheet. Now, how is it applied? A small rectangular pieces of the sheet are ironed onto fabrics, could be polyester, cotton, spandex, mesh, doesn't matter, where the polymer bound strongly to the fibers. And how did the team demonstrate the feasibility of this? Well, they took a university logo with 5 LEDs which stayed lit even when folded, twisted, or stretched. So they applied this logo onto a piece of clothing. And the iron-on, and you'll like this, they also put an iron-on microphone embedded in a shirt, recorded sound across the full human hearing range, performing comparably to traditional microphones, but with obviously much less bulk. Wow. And going on here, potential uses beyond LEDs and microphones. The technology could be integrated into soft robotics or maybe health monitoring devices and human-machine interfaces. This technology has such profound, wide range of possible applications. Pretty cool.
Just make it easy to use and make it, very versatile. And all the applications they just said, and probably some we weren't even thinking of.
Yeah, exactly. And this breakthrough addresses a major challenge in wearable technology, integrating electronics into flexible fabrics without sacrificing durability or comfort. And to wrap this up, by making circuits as easy to apply as an iron-on patch, it opens the door to mainstream adoption of smart clothing for healthcare, for example, or environmental monitoring and interactive robotics. So, wow, very, very important research here, to say the least. Salute to Virginia Tech.
Absolutely. So, no, a very, very cool story, and I look forward to seeing, what that, kind of looks like at the end. Because, Ralph, I don't think this is going to be, go out and buy this yourself and put it on your own clothing. I think when it comes to, smart clothing and other wearables, it's just going to be one of the easiest ways to integrate that circuitry into those products that you're probably going to buy. So, it's, very simple, very, very cool. So
it is.
Yep. So story number 3. Story number 4, usually, and this is why we always use the word usually, although this could be considered medical. Story number 4, medical. But this is actually with CES. So for those who have been living under a rock, January 6th through the 9th has been CES. Today is the final day. It's kind of wrapping up. Most of the announcements, honestly, Ralph, most of the announcements happen, I would say the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, even before CES starts. Everyone wants to kind of get out ahead of the news. But yeah, it's been a very, I would say a very transitional CES where this may surprise you. It's been about AI and how do we get AI? I mean, I was just telling my wife about an AI toothbrush that's out there and, stuff like that. It's everywhere. It was the big news of the show, no surprise. And, it's really in everything. And it's not one of these things, Ralph, where, years ago, people bring up 3D TVs when that was the biggest thing at CES. It's not one of those technologies that's it could be fun. No, AI has real transformative properties. And story number 4, I think, really gets into that as well when we talk about wearables and AI. So, Ralph, story number 4.
Yeah, absolutely right. And what Ben was saying, again, if you're a brand new listener, usually the 4th story of 4 that we highlight every Friday has to do with medical technology, or can be prosthetics, which is, of course, part and parcel of medical, if you will. And this story fits that. And again, as Ben was saying, this came out of a Consumer Electronics Show news this week. I absolutely fell in love with this story for so many reasons, but let's get the headline for you. Headset technology for the blind uses cameras plus artificial intelligence to understand the world, then guide the user safely by vibrating on the forehead. And you can think of it like a guide dog made of technology. Oh, gosh, I just love this. Please come out to the show notes at computeramerica.com so you can get the links, see the pictures, and so forth. And Ben is playing a video here, and we'll explain what's going on. The company behind this has an unusual name. Dot, like the punctuation dot or period. So period, and then lumen, Lumen. So again, come out to computeramerica.com, get the show notes. We have all the links for you. Now, little update here. News announcement yesterday. This is an insert or add-on to the show notes here that I didn't even have yesterday when I sent them to Ben. So Lumen, a European deep tech company behind the world's first pedestrian autonomous driving AI technology, has won the CTA Foundation Pitch Competition for Accessibility at CES 2026. They just got this award, receiving an award valued at $10,000, but that's fine. But the recognition highlights the breakthrough technology developed by Lumen that enables blind people to move independently, safely, and hands-free. No more walking stick, no more guide dog. And you're going to get the feel of this in just a couple of seconds. This is just amazing stuff, Ben.
Yeah, they have a number of different videos up on their site that they kind of show there, and we can kind of watch them in the background. But it's really amazing, seeing not just like it's not just Ralph motion activated, like I guess that's what this test is here. Just someone sitting there with stationary objects, and they can still see the stationary app. So, it's not motion controlled. It's not vision. It's obviously not vision controlled.
Right.
It's very versatile and seems to, kind of just work. Yeah.
And Ben, the key here is haptics. Okay. That idea that you have an activity occurring and you're getting a sensation of feeling. So, but let's explain this. How does the headset work? How does it work? It sees the world using cameras and sensors. They keep saying in the announcement, the glasses, it's really a headset, okay? The glasses have 6 cameras, infrared projectors, motion sensors, GPS, and these let the glasses, or really the headset, understand the environment, obstacles, open paths, curbs, puddles, walls, and more. And get ready for this. This technology that you're wearing on your head, like a headband kind of thing, larger than that, of course, it can do all this. It can understand the environment, all these obstacles, 100 times per second. 100 times per second. It's taking data and implementing haptics response for the user. Wow. So here's the key. Instead of pulling your hand like a guide dog, the headset gently pulls your head inside the headset is a special haptic band that touches your forehead. If you should turn left, you feel a gentle vibration on the left. If you should turn left, it wants you to turn left to avoid an obstacle, let's say, you feel a gentle vibration on the left side of your head. If you should turn right, if you need to turn right, you feel it on the right, of course. And if you need to slow down or avoid something, the pattern changes, the haptic pattern changes. And this is the core idea. They guide you by touch or haptics, not by sound or, of course, vision, since you're blind. Amazing.
It's really, and of course, this is all possible by the device itself being able to see the environment, understand the environment, and then direct you in that environment. It's really, I guess, kind of innovative in that with Ralph, like you were saying, with the haptics of it all, because it's I guess before, and we have covered some some accessibility technology here on the show. You'd have to wear earbuds, and it would kind of describe and say, this, and you would get a constant stream of information, either audially or you would have a guide dog or something like that. This is all silent. It's just kind of subtle vibrations wrapped around your head. The form factor is still a little bulky. They're showing it here that at least in this little GIF here that they have, it's just showing on like 10, 15 different people's heads. So it's versatile enough. It can fit on most people's heads. But it's still pretty bulky, Ralph, I would say. But again, prototype. It's just a start.
Yeah, exactly right. And actually, you're going to find out this is the best of both worlds in terms of technology legacy and then this new innovation, because it does have an audio factor, and we'll get into that in just a second. So it doesn't just warn you about obstacles, they guide you around them. The most devices for the blind beep or vibrate, to your point, Ben, a moment ago, when something is in the way. But this headset thing goes much further. It finds a safe path. It steers you through it. And it keeps you away from hazards above or below you. They help you stay on sidewalks and even avoid roads, of course, or even something like mud. Imagine that. And they can also navigate to destinations. Now, that part is coming in a future software update. It's not right now today. But with that, you'll be able to say something like, you can speak to it and say, take me to the bakery. And the headset will guide you step by step using the same haptic cues. Whoa. And get this, the headset can describe or find objects using audio. The glasses can tell you what objects are nearby. You're approaching a trash can, or you're approaching a postal box, right? Or identify objects you ask for. Where is the doorway? You could say to it. Speak menu options through built-in speakers. And to wrap it up here, there's no price indicated yet in any of the published news about this, but the company is taking reservations. And I forgot to mention, if I recall right, the company is based in Romania, which is so interesting as well. Wow. This should leave you with a very upbeat feeling for the end of the week.
As if the sentence "take me to the bakery" wasn't European enough. Yeah, they tried it in 20 different European countries. I guess just to get a sense of like, this can work in, let's say, Ireland, but could it work in Germany or something like that? It works across everything because it much like AI, and Ralph, AI comes up a lot. But that's because it really is cool, because it understands what it is. It's not just looking for, embedded IR sensors. It's not just looking for signs and reading them.
Good point.
It understands. So it can go very, very much anywhere.
Well, and Ben, think about this too. Even if this thing costs $20,000 or whatever the cost might finally be, because again, that hasn't been disclosed yet, consider this. The cost and time to train a guide dog is enormous. Especially the time and so forth.
I actually just Googled that. Would you hazard a guess how much it would be to train an organization? Because again, you have to pay full-time employees to do the training. You have to pay to breed the dog. You have to pay to, for all of the facilities and matching and all that stuff.
I don't know, 100K, maybe 100,000 at least. I don't know.
You're actually pretty close. $50,000 to $75,000 to train a certified guide dog.
Then you have the issue of caring for the dog. And I love dogs, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's just, think about the profound implications of this for blind people. My God, it just amazes me.
It's super cool that it uses, they kind of mentioned this on the website here. They said something like it's everything a self-driving car can do at 70% of the space and, whatever.
Oh, that's a good analogy, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially they are using the same technology, so it's not like they have to create new sensors or chips. They're just repurposing chips and sensors that are already being produced, which I'm sure brings down the cost just a bit. So,
and I'll tell you, friends, you really, really need to come out and get the links to see the videos that Ben has been showing you on the screen for those of you watching this on YouTube.
For sure.
It's just amazing.
It's really incredible. So there you go. Story number 4. That's what we try to do. And, we try to keep the show a little bit more condensed here for ease of listening. And I think 4 stories, all of them have been really great, Ralph. You have a good eye, dare I say, for
thank you
for that, for these amazing stories. But ladies and gentlemen, you may notice that if you come out to Computer America, get the show notes, there's more. We're only like halfway down the page, and that's okay, because these are honorable mentions past this point. These are stories that you should know about. Ralph doesn't just, he's like, oh, Ben, I can barely get 4 stories. The news is so bad. No, it's okay. There's more. And if you want to find out more, come out, read these. There's research papers, there's articles, there's videos to watch. They're just like the other stories. It's just, hey, at your leisure, go ahead and try it. So, Ralph, let's at least give people the headlines and then come out to Computer America to check it out themselves.
Yeah, right. Usually we have 4 honorable mentions. This week, I couldn't resist. We've got 5. So we're going to make this real quick, though. The first one comes from New York University Tandon School of Engineering. Headline: New algorithm dramatically speeds up stroke detection scans. Oh, this is a great one in medical technology. In fact, that was going to be my 4th story for today. But when I found the headset story for the blind, I just couldn't resist that one. So come out, though, and check out this one. It's very important. The next one is from sciencenewsexplorers.org. Headline: New materials, yank, forever chemicals from water. Oh, very important. That's like the microplastics in water. That's a problem.
Do
forever
we really need that,
chemicals
Ralph?
in water. Yeah.
I feel like the human liver and testicles kind of do that already. Do we really need? No, I joke.
Yes, yeah, we do. So that's a good story. The next one from interestingengineering.com, one of my favorite go-to sources. This one's very interesting, and I have a little bit of skepticism about it. I'll explain in just a moment. Headline: World's smallest AI supercomputer can fit in your pocket and run without server or GPUs, graphic processing units. I caution you a little bit here. I will say a little caution about this. Only one of the article's claims has been independently verified. The claim that the tiny AI Pocket Lab is the world's smallest personal AI supercomputer has been independently verified by Guinness World Records. But read the data and so forth. I still kind of go, it sounds too great to be true. It's just hard to wrap your head around this idea.
It probably does play with the idea of definitions and terminology to get to that claim.
Fair enough.
But I'm sure that it does reach a level of advancement in kind of personal AI. So yeah,
exactly. So check that one out. That's interesting. Next one here from Eureka, like Eureka Alert.org, strengthening asphalt roads with a unique green ingredient, algae. We've seen time and time again algae coming up for fuels and other things like this. And here's another use for strengthening asphalt roads. That's fun. And then let's see, I think that, so last one for today from The Cool Down, which is an outlet or a segment on MSN.com. Headline: Scientists discover magical material that's stronger than steel and lighter than aluminum, and its potential is dizzying. You want to check that one out if you're into material sciences as well. So cool stuff for this week.
Looks a little bit like the gentleman is about to put it on and become Batman. It's
yes.
it's very much and hey, maybe Ralph will see we'll see this Galvorn material come out maybe a little bit before carbon fiber and carbon nanotubes. We'll see. But anyways, no, it's a graphene. I'm sorry, not carbon fiber, graphene. Yeah. Graphene. There we go. So everyone, that's our show. Thank you so much, Ralph, for putting this together. Amazing stories. And again, ladies and gentlemen, computeramerica.com. If you want to find any of these, all of these past shows, Ralph's past shows are very future-proof because they're so cutting edge. And you can find all of them right there or on our YouTube or on social media. Keep up there. We will see you next Friday. I hope that you have a great weekend. And just a little heads up for anyone looking for something fun to do. Ralph, if you didn't know this as well, for the 20th anniversary, I believe, of the Lord of the Rings, many theaters across the country are doing screenings of the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings in theaters. So, hey. Yeah, it should be this month. So everyone, have a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you next time. Everyone, have a great one. Bye, everyone.